On this edition of the Home Tip Show, we're going to talk about under cabinet lighting, from an overview of the various types available, to selecting the type that's best for you, to installing. Are you ready? Let's do it. First thing we're going to do is discuss the various types that we have available to us today on the market. There are probably even more than I have shown here, but we're going to talk specifically about the most popular four. Then we're going to get into understanding a bit more about your layout and trying to figure out how to match the right kind of light to the situation that you have. It can be flat out overwhelming to walk into a Home Depot or Lowe's or go on Amazon and just type in under cabinet lights, because you're going to see so many different varieties and options. How do you know what's right for you? So hopefully we're going to demystify that a little bit. So the first type that we're going to talk about today are called linear LED lights. And the reason they're called linear is they really don't have a specific LED light that you can see, but they're inside there, they're LED, they're made to clip together very easily like that if you need to, or you can buy some wire and wire them together if you want to. They come with all the mounting hardware you need. They produce a very uniform light. They're easy to assemble and disassemble if you want to. And these are called linear. My favorite by far as of what's available today. Second, we're going to talk about puck lights. Let's do that here for a second. So puck lights can be surface mounted or recessed. Recessed meaning that there's a big 2.5-inch hole cut out in the cabinet and the actual light slips up inside it. I don't like recessed if you're going to do lights on the bottom, shining down on the countertops, because what are you going to do with all these wires? You can't put anything on top of them. So I know that there might be some solutions out there for that, but just get you some nice thin surface mount ones. These aren't exactly a thin pair. I would call these general utility. These are available. One thing that's nice about these is you can see that they do have some ability to be, kind of swiveled a little bit if you have something in particular that you want to light up. But honestly, I'm going to say this once, I'll say it 100 times. Under cabinet lighting is, you don't need 100 colors. You don't need 100 dimmable different layers. You don't need things that swivel. They really are set it and forget it. And I know I'm a Gen Xer and, we have our opinions on things, but this is one thing that I've had enough under cabinet lighting over the years to know that once you get it set the way you want it, you're probably never going to mess with it again. Yeah, Christmas might be fun to make it switch between green and red. It's just, honestly, it's not worth the added expense or hassle. So what I would say is go with a warm white. So that's 2700K to 3000K, which they call warm white 2700K. They call soft white 3000K. Don't go anything above 3000K. You're starting to get into what they call white light, and I'm not a fan of it. So that's just my preference. You can look at it and see what you think, but it's more of that bluish white color that you see in vehicle headlights coming at you at night, where they've went to the AutoZone and swapped out their lights for something brighter. The warm white though is more like Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas morning. It's just a warmer, fireplace, going in the fireplace type of, a little bit more yellow, but a little bit nicer of a light. So we have these here that we talked about. These are available. These are from Enlight. By the way, today's program is brought to you by Enlight. Every light that you're going to see, every fixture you're going to see today is an Enlight product. They were kind enough to send us a huge sampling pack of nearly everything they had in the under cabinet lighting space. So this is called their LED swivel design puck light kit, recessor surface mount. Comes in a white finish. I think it also comes in a black finish. It's available at 2700K warm white. And this particular set is high voltage, meaning that it requires 110 from the go from the connector, from the outlet, all the way to the light bulb. So this next kit is called the puck light recessed or surface mounted. So it can be both recessed and surface mounted. White finish, 3000K. It's all LED as well, but it's only 12 volts. And so I have a set of those out over here. Let me take a quick look at them. So if you notice one thing about these, notice how thin they are, right? Why is that important? Well, rule number one of installing under cabinet lighting, do not go with recessed lighting underneath your cabinets. There's no need for it. The new lighting today is just so thin that you can mount these up under here and you'll never see them from the outside, right? So why would you cut a 2.5-inch hole in the bottom of your cabinets if you don't have to? Just surface mount them and move on. The other thing I like about this particular set is, yeah, it's 120 here, but this is a transformer. Converts it down to 12 volts, and I can power all 3 of these lights off of that. So that's kind of nice. Jumping back to the linear for a second, I can actually power 6 sets, 6 different 12-foot lights off of one transformer with this set. And I'm powering 4 over here. I'm kind of doing a little test, as you'll see here in a minute. But this one transformer can power up to 6 daisy chained together, and also they're dimmable. So that's our puck lights. We have swivel, we have high voltage, or line voltage as they call it. We have low voltage. My recommendation, home tip show pro tip number 2, go with low voltage, 12 volts, something in that range. No need to use a wire like this, like lamp cord, if you don't have to. All right, these are LED line voltage puck light kits. This is surface mount only, so it's a little bit easier to surface mount. Would be great maybe in a utility room. Really would be good anywhere, but it is line voltage, which, you know, that's not my recommendation. All right, moving on. Now we're going to get into what we call strip lights. So we talked about linear lights right here. We've talked about puck lights. And now we're going to talk about strip lights. It's the same options, just in a different package for the most part. All of these run off of 110. So as you can see, this one here, you direct wire into some sort of cabinet. 12-inch. These are dimmable as well as are some of these. So this is a different version of that. As you can see, it's a little bit smaller. They call this their ultra slim, but it also has a nice swivel feature. So if swivel is something that's important to you, this one will do it. Again, I've not found a need for that. Another nice feature of this product is that it will do 2700K, so it'll go from warm white to white light at 4000K. And there's a little selector switch right here. Just go from one to the other. So these are nice. These are nice switches, or nice lamps. And then here is what they call the Pro version of that same thing. It also runs off line voltage, designed for under cabinet lighting. It comes with the power cord, a 6-inch extension cable if I want to daisy chain any of these together, and all the mounting equipment. With this kit, though, you can link up to 20 of these units to a single power supply, which, this being the power supply, this is what they call the 3-color temperature set. So I've got 2700, 3000, and 4000 all available to me there. And then I have a dimmer here as well. Could be great, I think, in a utility room or a garage. It is an aluminum housing, has a polycarbonate diffuser, and is overall a great product. So as you can see, there are a lot of features that are standard between, you know, whether it be a linear light, a puck light, or a strip light. You really have to look at what fits your particular needs. In my case, my preference and my experience is I want to do low voltage, so I want 12 volt. I want warm white, 2700K. I want something that has a very, very low profile and is easy to install. And what's the other thing? Oh, surface mount as well. So those are my preferences. So when I looked across this spectrum here, what would be the best solution for me? Today's house, I'm going to actually be doing this in my own kitchen. So I decided to go with the linear LEDs for this room. And then for the laundry room, I'm going to go with the low voltage puck lights as well. So we'll be able to see both those installations happen in a later video. So the next consideration is after you have a good feel for the type of lights that are available on the market, what you need to do is look at your situation. Number one consideration, how am I going to get power to my lights? Right? Now remember, most modern day houses, there's a switch that was installed that was dedicated to just providing power to probably some switches that are either up in the wall or behind the cabinets that were for this purpose only. That is not the case in any house, I would say, older than 2010, or maybe even newer than that. But what you have, though, are opportunities for you to install them. You could theoretically install your power pack here and then route your cable up your wall. I don't know if that looks the greatest or not, to be honest with you. And then, you know, how are you going to get your cable from cabinet to cabinet? That's a pretty easy solution. But there's something you might not know. If you have a house like mine that was built to accommodate a microwave above the cooktop, which ours was, but we don't have a microwave above our cooktop. We have this fancy, chef exhaust fan. If you look back in the back of your cabinet, yeah, there it is. You're gonna find a 110 outlet. That's for the microwave to plug into. So that outlet's available to you. It's unswitched. It's powered all the time, but that's an easy thing to overcome, either with a timer or some sort of smart plug like Alexa or Siri or Google Home plug. So the next thing, you'll see that you have additional countertop lights here. This will be 220 behind your double oven if it's electric. There's also going to be another 20 amp behind your 110, 20 amp behind your refrigerator that you could potentially tap into with some sort of transformer or whatever. So you've got opportunities there. You just kind of have to dig for them. In our case, we even have a third opportunity because we switched out the electric cooktop with a gas cooktop. I put a 110 switch back here, and all that does is power the, that noise, the little lighters on and it gives the cooktop the smart capabilities. But you can see I've got another switch available to me there, another outlet available to me, so I could go there. What I've decided to do, however, is use the 110 above the exhaust fan. In that upper cabinet, I'm going to use a round smart plug. So you plug that in, and then it gives your lights, essentially, it's like they're smart lights. So I can tell Alexa or Google Home or Siri to set up various routines to turn those lights on at certain times of night, turn them off at certain times of night, or I can just have them be voice controlled by my Amazon Echo. So I think I'm going to do both. I'm going to have them be voice controlled, but I'll also have them automatic't turn on at every night when my sunset routine runs, which is a routine that makes sure my camera's on. It tells me the sunset time. It turns off the necessary lights, turns on the evening lights, sets the dimmers to a certain amount. And then we have a good night routine, which I'll also probably change a little bit for these, which will actually turn these off when I say good night and leave them off until sunset the next night. So it's the smart switches in combination with Alexa, Siri HomeKit, or Google Home will make a fantastic addition to your home, because I don't have switches that are connected, to my outlets like some of the new houses do. But this is going to give me more functionality than even having that. So I'm pretty excited about it. Okay, so, all right. So how am I going to get my wires from cabinet to cabinet? And we'll cover this more in the installation, but essentially I'm going to have one linear light here. I think it's only going to be one. I'm going to run a test tonight, see if it needs two. One here. I'm going to run one here. I'm going to skip a cabinet and run one here. So about where those two are located there. And then I'm going to have a third one or a fourth one over here. Well, why not one in the corner? Well, I've done some testing, and here's why. With the microwave sitting there, when I put one in, all it does is light the top of the microwave. But I know in the future, when I do away with the microwave and go to a oven/microwave combo unit, I may actually want to have a light there. So what I've decided to do, and this is one of the great things about LED lights, is I've taken this standard linear fixture and I just put black electrical tape over the top of it. So you won't see any of the light being emitted from it. If I decide I need a little light, I can cut out some sections, like maybe one down here, one here, one here, so I let a little light come through. But until it's needed, it's not there. But I'm not having to rewire in the future when I decide that I want to go ahead and, do away with the microwave, and then I'm going to have a dark spot here. I don't have to rewire. All I have to do is peel the tape off, and I've got it. So this will be part of the test that I'm running this evening to see. I'm not going to screw these in to where they need to be at this point. All I'm going to do is use the double-sided tape that they came with. I'm going to just put them up there and test them. I'm not running any wires. What about running wires? Well, what you do is in the back corner of your cabinets, you're going to drill, say for example, I need a wire to come into this cabinet. I'm going to go in that back corner there, take probably a 1/4 inch drill bit and just drill from one cabinet into the other one. And that'll get my wire in. And then what I can do a lot of times is you can just scoot. You can just, you notice there's a little gap right here? A little gap right here. You can just run your wire after you drilled it in, you're fishing it down through. You can run your wire through that gap without even having to drill these. Once you get it down to where you need it to go, like say you want the wire to come out in the corner here, or you might want it to come out in the front corner. It just depends on your needs. You drill a wire up, or you drill a hole up, pop your wire down, and away you go. Now, the extension wires that came with these linear lights are kind of so what I'm going to do is use thermostat wire, and I'm going to cut these wires in half and solder in thermostat wire wherever I need to extend them. So I don't know what lengths those are yet. So what the first step here will be in the installation video, I'm going to mount these. The second step is that we'll drill our holes wherever we need them to be and route our wires through them. I didn't have black that I could go with. You're not going to see that anywhere. Actually, the brown's going to match better inside these cabinets along the back corner. The nice thing about this kit is it came with all of the wire holders that you need. It comes with the necessary snaps. Again, first night tonight, I'm not soldering anything. I'm not drilling any holes. I'm just putting the lamps up or putting the fixtures up and see how they'll look in the evening with this design I have in mind. There are two questions. How's that corner going to look if I keep it duct or electrical taped out? Second question is just one of these linear strips enough for these two cabinets, or should I put one next to another? And those are the things that we'll find out this evening when we do our test. All right, so there you go. That's those are the major considerations: is how you're going to route your cable, how you're going to get it from cabinet to cabinet. What do you do across dead spaces? That could be a big issue, especially in kitchens that are separated by a window over the sink, where you don't have a place to go necessarily. Like these, I can route my cables here wherever I need to. I can route the whole way through the back of the cabinets, all the way to the end. What if I didn't have a cabinet here, though? What would I do? All right, so those are questions where you might want to have to get into thinking outside the box a little bit, maybe getting an electrician involved, or posting a comment or question here. I do want to thank Enlight again for being the provider of all the products you're going to see today. I have a whole attic filled with products that we'll be reviewing, have been reviewing over the last year or so. And they've been a huge supporter of the channel, and I can't thank them enough. So please like and subscribe. We'll see you later.
So part 2, installation. So the first thing we're going to do is do a mock-up of the installation. These linear strips came with this 3M double-sided tape. It's very good stuff. We're going to go ahead and install it as we have here to 2 places on the back side of each linear strip. And we'll let that set up real good. And then we'll go ahead and peel the red strip off, and we'll stick it to the bottom of the cabinet. As you can see, we've already done here, 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 and here. The real test tonight is going to be with the mock-up to see if one strip is good enough for 2 cabinets, or if I'm going to need to do a 1-for-1 measurement or ratio. So I've done 1 here, I'm going to do 1 here, so there's 2 for 3. There's 1 for 2. This one here will be blacked out as it is already up there with the black electrical tape. And then this one will go right here. So we've got the tape peeled off. What we're gonna do then next is we're gonna mount the strip. So that's about the location it needs to go. And we'll go ahead and we'll attach those up. There we go. All 3 in the proper location. All right, so this one will be able to just attach this in here. Like that. For tonight, all we're gonna do is just attach these. We're not going to worry about doing any fancy wiring or drilling at this point. We're just attaching so we can see how they're gonna look. Okay, so here is the test of the LED lights. That's on full brightness, which is where I seem to like it the best. I think it provides the best match with the LED lights that are built in to the uptake fan above the oven. So you can see some wires hanging down. That's just because this is all just simply a test. I did decide to go ahead and take the electrical tape off this corner light here. I just think it provided a more uniform lighting within that corner, and I think it's gonna look, well, it does. It looks fantastic. It's exactly what the kitchen needed. It's gonna eliminate the need to have these lights on at night, and so it's gonna draw a lot less power and just give the kitchen a real nice pop with the granite that we have with our countertops, with the backsplash. I think it's gonna look, well, it does look really nice. So there you go. Next step, installation. We have a outlet that is over the oven where a microwave was intended to be installed at some point. But instead, with us, we went with this professional chef's exhaust hood. And so what we're gonna do is repurpose that 110 outlet by plugging in the transformer that comes with the linear lighting, and then plugging in a smart plug. It can be any brand that supports either, if you're a Amazon Alexa home, you'll want a plug that supports Alexa. If you're an Apple HomeKit home, you'll want one that supports that standard. Or if you're a Google Home, you'll want a plug that supports that standard. And I'll put the exact name and brand and all that information into the description file. So we've went ahead and we've installed that. Up till this point, we've done some rudimentary routing of our electrical. We go down into the second cabinet through a hole that we put right here. We come out of that center cabinet in a hole right here. We run down the front. Now, if you notice, you don't need to necessarily drill these shelves.
a lot of times there's just room on the edge, as you can see here. So there's no more drilling necessary, just one through to get to the other cabinet, and then we run it down and we route it into this hole that we drilled right here, through that hole there, and over to the light. So these lights are meant to be installed serially. So we run through the dimmer switch first, and it also serves as an on-off, but we'll leave it on all the time, probably leave it on maximum all the time. And then out of that, then we're gonna run back, right? So this is an input and an output. We're gonna run back up through the same holes, and that's the brown thermostat cable you see here. It will go then out of that hole, around the corner, and then we'll drill a similar hole over here on the other side, in this cabinet to the right of the exhaust fan. We'll come down, put a hole somewhere in this area right here, pop it out here, and run right into the input on the next light. From there on out, we're pretty lucky. All we need to do is solder and create a cable that's long enough to make this jump here. So we're gonna be jumping from this light output into the input of this light. We'll have to go through this double support here with a, quarter-inch drill bit or so. But everything will stay on the bottom from this point forward. We'll do the same here. We'll go through this one here. This puts us into the input of the corner cabinet. Out of the corner cabinet, we'll do the same thing here, drill through, and here. Okay, so we just finished up our kitchen under cabinet lighting installation. And with the exception of some cleanup, which you can see we need to do here with all the sawdust that's on the countertop, I believe we're done. Okay, fast forward, it's been a couple months since we've done the installation, and this is what the final product looks like. I feel that it's perfect, honestly. It's the exact right balance. You can't see any of these lights when, if you're above, I guess maybe 5 foot tall. And then you might just see, what you see there. But the color's very nice with these. I think we've distributed them very nicely around the cabinets. The main lesson here is that if you have 3 cabinets close to each other, like we do in that corner there, you may only need 2 types of linear LED light, or potentially 2 puck lights, if that's the route that you go. So let's go around and look into the laundry room. I put 3 of the low voltage surface mount puck lights in here. And that's how that looks. It does have, they plug in, there's a power transformer, and there's a distribution block back there in the back that all of the 3 lights plug into. That's on the left. And then this is a dimmer if I want to do it, but I don't, I just leave it on and full power the whole time. So I can just say, Ziggy, laundry room cabinet lights off. There we go. All right, Ziggy, laundry room cabinet lights on. And so those are set up that they activate with our good night and good morning commands. Good night sets the house up for nighttime. Good morning turns on certain lights around the house. I could also run a routine that they just automatically came on and off with a timer, but we run into problems with that because some nights we'll be up till 9 o'clock, other nights we're up till 1 or 2 in the morning, and you're having to turn the lights back on when things get shut off. So I just like using this routine because this same routines, good night and good morning, also control our security system and cameras and just other lights around the house. So that's why we do it that way. And then the same for out here. I can say, Alexa, kitchen cabinet lights off. Alexa, kitchen cabinet lights on. There we go. That wraps up our LED cabinet lighting installation overview video.
if you like this video, or if you like this type of videos, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to be notified when I post new videos to the channel. And I want to thank Enlight for providing all the under cabinet lighting that I demonstrated today for this show. They are a great partner of ours and provide outstanding lighting and fixtures for your home. So that's it for today. See you next time. Thank you for watching the Home Tip Show. If our videos have helped you do something, provided entertainment, or increased your do-it-yourself skills, you can show your appreciation by, first, hitting the subscribe button. Subscriptions are very important to us and make this channel possible, so please consider subscribing to the Home Tip Show. Second, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. This tells the YouTube algorithm that the video is liked, thus it will prioritize it higher in their search results. Third, you can also ring the bell button, which will remind you within YouTube when we publish new videos. Finally, if you have any comments, questions, or input on this video, or would like to make suggestions for future videos, leave a note in the comments section or email us at thehometipshow@gmail.com. We read and respond to all comments and emails.